Wow, okay, so it's filming Friday, and apparently this morning me had ideas about what I should film, and specifically chose this shirt for it because it's like pink and cute, but also it's the truth. And it's not even Festivus, but I have grievances to air, or at least I felt like it this morning, whereas now I'm really tired. But I'm going to do what morning me said I was gonna do. So, I'm gonna read this Facebook post from the 13th of June, and I haven't read through it ahead of filming this, so hopefully it goes well. But yeah, it's a rant that I've apparently wanted to go on YouTube for a while as well. And whoa, brain is really tired. But I think, like, for one thing, I'm not in the same mood I was in when I was planning to read this out. For another thing, I don't do well with scripts. I find it incredibly difficult to sound natural, so you're probably gonna find out why I don't script my videos. I mean, if you watch my old Punk Rave Australia stuff, especially the earlier stuff, you get that vibe anyway, but haven't done anything like this in a while, so here we go. This is my friends only post from the 13th of June. Did I exclude anyone? Was this directed at? No, it just says friends. Sometimes it's funny to look at my old posts and see who I heard it from and sort of think, is that what that was about? Alright, here we go. If you want me to like you, the most important thing is to be a good communicator. You don't have to do everything you say you're going to do, but you do have to tell me when you can't anymore or you've changed your mind. Not leave me in the dark wondering what the fuck is you ghost me like a coward! Wow, I was pissed off that day! I get that some people can be easily distracted, but if that's you, don't tell me shit you know you're not gonna follow through on. Or when you realize you've done it again, own that shit, apologize, and try to do better next time. Apologies are worthless if you don't make an effort to change. Still better than silence, though. Wow, past me. I have low trust in people to do right by me and a mental illness that centers on that feeling. I will be forgiving and understanding if you're struggling, but for fuck's sake, it's not a one-way thing. If I'm going to be kind and considerate of your issues, but you never even think about how your bullshit might be affecting mine, yes, you are the problem. I'm trying so hard to recover from a disorder that encourages misanthropy, and here you are just proving my brain's point. Stop it. You are hurting me. This isn't directed at anyone in particular, really, because I've had a lot of it over the years. Okay, true. Including a few more recently. But if you feel like it's about you, maybe you should think about why that is. Also, if I failed to get back to you about something, please do follow up. I'm totally aware that I may have forgotten about something or misunderstood the conversation, just as I sometimes wonder if that's why I haven't heard back from some people myself. I get it, life is nuts, I'm not unreasonable. The trouble is when I follow up and the other person never replies. That is what sucks. Worse if they leave the message on scene. I would never treat you like that. Unless you're a creep! LOL. But chances are you're not on my friends list then, haha ... Creeps and trolls are the only ones who deserve to be ghosted. Or people who only ever message, hi! And then expect me to carry the whole conversation with no clear reason for the communication, ... emoji. Or how do you accurately portray that emoji? I don't know. There's a reason I don't do acting. Please, guys, if you're interacting with me, keep this shit in mind. It's really hard not to fall back into the pattern of, why should I waste my time with people ever? When it keeps happening over and over and over. It also makes it really hard to remember that some people do treat me better because negativity only wants you to see negativity. Sure, I could cut off all the people who reinforce my disorder the moment I sense they're bad for me, but then there wouldn't be too many left, lol. And that's no good either. I'm not expecting you to be perfect, just consider it. Is that really too much to ask? Maybe this is why I apparently prefer hanging out with older people, lol. They came from a time where you had to make plans in advance and stick to them because communication was difficult, so you couldn't just chicken out at the last minute as easily as you can now. Young adults today are such flakes, especially in the creative circles I find myself in. Full of shit too. Hashtag not all creatives. but enough that I sometimes wish my brain enjoyed the maths and science I used to be good at, enough that I could exist in those fields instead, where organization is more highly valued. Alas. Don't even get me started on the people who do all this on purpose and are actually just trying to exploit my tolerance and take what they can get from me with no intention of reciprocity ever. ... This post is long enough, and I'm trying to give people the benefit of the doubt, lol. I'd rather try to believe you're well-meaning and just lack self-awareness, rather than being intentionally malicious psychopaths and narcissists, spotting a broken person as your ideal victim, ... Also the people who hide behind their challenges as an excuse for bad behavior, expecting us to just accept that while they make zero effort to improve the things they can. I'm sorry you're struggling, but that doesn't give you an excuse to be a dick. I'm struggling too, and I'm not treating you like trash. Hell, this rant has been a long time coming because I didn't want to hurt your feelings, but if you won't make any effort for me, why should I keep making that unappreciated effort for you? I'm not blaming my disorder for snapping, in brackets, and capital LOL, caps lock LOL. Schizoids are not known to speak up anyway, close bracket. I'm blaming your actions towards me! 3 exclamation marks. Next line, ... Next line. So let's finish on a positive emoji. Thank you to the people I regularly have actual decent conversations with. Communication without being a wishy-washy coward is one thing, but communication that's actually interesting, fuck yes. Sparkle emoji, stars in your eyes emoji, sparkle emoji. Wow, that was a heckin' thing. Did I write it, like, being all like, or was it, like, you know, I'm trying to interpret it as I read it, but sometimes I write these things quite clinically, but then when I read it back, especially if I read it out loud, it's like, holy shit, calm down, girl. Maybe this is why people interpret my writing in such a harsh way. I know, like, in the past, when I was struggling to express things, like before I knew about having schizoid and so on, and before I knew about how the situation at home affected me, I did, in the past, try and write at least one letter to my parents, and Dad saw it first, and it was apparently so brutal that he just ripped it up and wouldn't let Mum see it. Although, I don't know, he could have just been making excuses, because it was probably addressing some difficult shit. And from memory, like, now that I know what I know about my disorder and about the situation that likely caused it, I probably had a point. I just don't remember exactly what I wrote. I remember the basic themes. But yeah, anyway, so, like, the point of that thing, it is true, though, like, communication, lack of communication pisses me off. Because, you know, like, I try to be understanding of people's issues. But they have to communicate what's going on. Like, it's not, like, if you just drop off the face of the earth, especially if we were trying to organize something together. What kind of bullshit is that? Like, do I just not believe you? And it happens with all kinds of people. Like, you know, there are people who are having issues, but then there are, like, seemingly normal people who would do this. They'll be like, oh yeah, we should hang out. And then you start trying to organize something, and then the moment it becomes serious, it's just like, no one's actually planning. Or occasionally there are people who, like, you plan stuff and then they don't turn up, without saying anything, and without any, sorry, I couldn't come, or sorry, this happened. I don't know. And it's just like, well, I'll never trust those people again. I don't think I've been left, like, you know, on my own in any situation, although that wouldn't bother me. But you know, I guess, like, people think they can get away with it more when there's a bigger group. But yeah, I haven't even been in that situation in such a long time. I also don't like people being late to things, but, you know, shit happens, so just let me know what's going on. But yeah, the people who ghost. And, like, there are people in my real life, and also people that I've, like, either paid or been intending to pay for different things, and it's just like, these are people I know in real life. They're not, like, scammers or anything. It's just like, where is the communication? How do I get through to this person? And particularly with some of the stuff that I've wanted to do more recently, yeah. Do, like, you know, it's one thing to not actually like me as a friend. I don't mind, like, but if I'm trying to pay you and you've been complaining that you don't have money, and it's like, okay, I have this project, can you quote me? Crickets. and then they're the ones saying they'll meet me, and then it's like, okay, can we, like, when, where? Crickets. I'm just like, I can't deal with it. I need a break from some of these people, and you know, my life's about to get super busy anyway. So, yeah, just put a lot of that kind of stuff on hold. And you know what? Like, there's some stuff I've wanted to do in music in particular, and sometimes I think about, you know, should I go and get, like, proper music videos done? But then I think about all the people I'd need to work with and trust with my art. I'm just like, nah, maybe I should just keep doing the lo-fi thing. You know, just whatever I can manage on YouTube, my own way, like, very me, instead of bringing in someone else who's going to polish the shit out of it, especially in this age of AI. But that's a whole other issue. The main thing here is, like, okay, what's important about this? Okay, so I have schizoid personality disorder. I am working as hard as I can to try and, like, fix these things, but I think, you know, what I've learned about personality disorders, like, in general, not just for schizoid, is, like, especially if it's trauma-based and interpersonal trauma-based, what you really need in life is more safe people you can trust, people who can undo the things that made you the way you are in the first place. And something that I keep coming across in life is just people who keep reinforcing my misanthropy and my lack of trust in others. There are a few people who are like, and who have surprised me in how supportive they are. I think, though, they're so supportive that they understand I want to be left on my own, and so sometimes they leave me on my own, like, they don't bother me a little bit too much, and then I forget again. So trying to find the balance of people who are supportive without overwhelming me, but also don't hold back so much that I forget that they were supportive, because my brain will drop that shit so fast. If I don't hear from people, I can kind of forget that they're a thing. My brain's just like, meh, they don't exist anymore. But yeah, and then there are the people, like, what I find most damaging is when someone pretends to be your friend, pretends to be supportive, says they want to hang out and do all these things, and you sort of, like, you know, they do all the right stuff, that you start to open up a little bit, and then the moment that things start to get a little bit more serious and you're trying to, you know, nail down dates and times, or, you know, even just more of a, like sometimes it's not even like you're trying to meet, it's just that you're chatting, and they just, like, disappear. I mean, okay, if they disappear online, that's less of a thing, because, like, online is online, but I think it's more like the real world connections. Yeah, people who try and gain your trust and then just fuck off, and leave you hanging and leave you wondering, like, yeah, there's been people who were like, oh yeah, let's meet up. And I'll be like, when, where? I need to know. And then you realize that they were never serious. And you try to give them chances. I try to give people so many chances. And I don't know if this is common with schizoid or just common, like, you know, being a female, being conflict averse. It's apparently a female socialized thing. And just, like, how I am conflict averse. Yeah, I give people too many chances. I try to be forgiving, but there's always a point where I snap. And I don't always confront people. I mean, there are some people I've confronted, they've apologized, and then they've gone on to do exactly the same thing. But yeah, once someone has pissed me off beyond a certain point, that's nah. It's up to them to realize what they've done, especially if I've, you know, called them out for it before. And if they want to be in, like, contact with me and me not just pretend that they're nothing anymore, it's up to them to come to me and be like, oh shit, I fucked up. And for them to realize, and for them to, like, seek, you know, seek my, I guess, like, seek forgiveness kind of thing. Like, you know, they have to make the effort to mend it at that point, because I'm just like, after a certain number of times, I can't trust you anymore. And I've been trying so hard to trust you, because especially now that I understand the whole schizoid thing and the trauma thing and all that, and that I'm probably quick to judge otherwise. Although, am I? I feel like maybe my base personality underneath all the trauma probably was very trusting. I mean, kids are trusting of their parents, and if things go wrong there, you know, like, when my youngest brother was likely in hospital, and I think I was living with my grandparents for a while, it's like, where have my parents gone? And it's like, your very basic level carers have just disappeared. And so you're like, well, I shouldn't get attached to anyone because they could just disappear. But, you know, like, the whole trusting, kids trust, and then trust's broken. And somehow I keep going through that. I don't know. But do I? Because I stay away from people? It's very confusing trying to unpack. But I don't know. Just, like, I'm trying is the point, and people keep reinforcing it. And if you've heard my song Deceiver, the studio demo is on Patreon, but you can also hear the live version from my Crowbar gig. Deceiver is, like, basically about this shit. Is about people, you know, who claim to be supportive and interested in your work or whatever, but when shit hits the fan, it's all bullshit. While I'm here, maybe I should just, like, dig up those lyrics. Shit, where do I even keep anything anymore? It's probably in my projects in process. Yes, Deceiver. Where are my lyrics? Let's cut to the chase. Yeah, get all the bullshit out of the way. I've had enough of being left here disappointed. I'm tired of all the waiting around. I've been so patient, but you take that for granted, and now my tolerance has run out. I don't appreciate your tendency to flake, and on top of that, you don't communicate. It sucks that you play this game, exploit and mislead and blame. Your flip-flopping is driving me insane. Okay, the exploit and mislead and blame is, like, slightly different to the communicate, but there are people who will, like, take advantage of you trying to be helpful. And then, like, you know, the one-way relationships as well. There are some people who only message me when they want something, and it's like, can't you at least send me a meme that reminded you of me? Like, at the very least. Instead of just, like, only appearing when you want something. Pre-chorus, where are we? Please don't play with my emotions. Let me down and cut me open. Careless words and empty promises. You say you want to help me, you're invested in my journey, yet you reinforce all my pain. Of course, how can I heal when I can't find an antidote? Oh, if I'm disordered, why can't you just admit some fault? Yeah, how come I'm the one with the disorder, but these are the people who can't communicate, can't get their shit together, and can't treat me with some basic level of respect? They just take advantage of me trying to be kind and trying to be tolerant and trying to be, you know, forgiving of their bullshit. And they're just taking advantage, and then they wonder why I'm like, people suck. And there are people who are like, you know, there is that thing, like, what was it? You want to help me, you're invested in my journey, but you're doing all this bullshit, so, like, fuck off, I don't need you. And in the last chorus, I changed, just admit some goddamn fault. But yeah, so the second verse, I've had enough of this. Oh, and that one's fun, because I go from, like, you know, it sort of starts clean, like the first verse, but then it goes into a scream, because it's like, fuck this. I've had enough of this, just say no if you're not interested. Give me something, give me anything but silence. Why can't you tell me the truth instead of teasing? Give me honesty I can trust, not your cowardice. Yeah, because some of them will just disappear, and, like, they, you know, you can ask things, but they just never get back to you about what's going on, and you're like, just tell me. If you can't do something you don't like me, just tell me. Don't, like, pretend to be my friend and then disappear. The bridge. Please just follow through. Do the things you say you'll do. Please just earn my faith. I want to believe in you. Yeah, no, there's people who promise stuff. It happens a lot in music, especially, you know, people who's like, oh yeah, I'll send you the lyrics. Or yeah, I'll send you a track. And it's like, yeah, okay. Never turned up. I'll ask one more time. Second chance is thrown aside. Thrice burned, I decry. 1, 2, 3. When do I even try? And those are the lyrics, you know, then it goes back to chorus. Yeah. You know, verse 2, then chorus, I think. Pre-chorus, chorus. Bridge! Pre-chorus, chorus. But anyway, you can fucking watch that, and, like, the whole how I came up with it and all that is, Patreon's already seen that quite a while ago. I was going to try and release it this year, but it's not going to happen. There's too much going on. I've been unwell. Dog is judging me. Got a new mattress. I filmed that. Film some cooking. Anyway, so that was what past me wanted to get off my chest. People suck. And if they expect me to change and become more sociable and not hate the world so much, they need to stop sucking. Especially the ones who say shit. Like, oh, the ones who try to be supportive and then they do exactly the wrong things. They can get fucked out of my life. Sometimes you just need to, like, cut those people off and try and focus on the ones who are actually good. It's just, you know, especially when you've had depression, your brain focuses on the negatives. And, like, the whole thing with trauma, focusing on the negatives, you know, it's like your brain survival response. And emotional pain is an issue that, you know, I would have had that when I was younger, and I've probably suppressed it so much that I don't even know. You know, I'm probably not accurate at assessing my own internal whatever's going on. It's really hard to psychoanalyze because I think also I compartmentalize. Like, there are parts of me, maybe that's what's going on. It's like there's parts of me that are being trusting of people, and then there's other parts of me that are like, nah, fuck this. And there's a whole conflict going on, and trying to bring it all together into something coherent just doesn't work, especially when people keep doing this bullshit. And it's like, I don't know, why is it so hard to find the safe people? Is it just because, like, I'm in the wrong circles, or I don't know. And the thing about the older people is true, because, like, I've been hanging out with older people in the art society, and they say they're going to do something, they do it. Whereas young people, and music people in particular, art, like, you know, the younger creative people, nah. The older creative people, yeah, they're good. Although I will say that, given that I know I probably spent a lot of time living with my grandparents while chaos was going on with my brother, I probably also have, like, a subconscious thing where I trust older people a bit more because they would have looked after me in that time. And I did spend a lot of time with my grandma. Like, my Aussie grandma, she used to take me to art galleries, and she took me to the Pokemon movie and fell asleep during the Pikachu thing and then just, like, missed the actual movie. I think she also took me to see Finding Nemo because she wanted to see the movie but didn't want to be that one random old person on her own, so she had to bring a kid along. Anyway, yeah, I don't know, like, today's generation, because it's so easy to message people, they just don't take communication seriously. And yeah, I guess I am older than I look, so. Plus also, like, my family is mostly, like, finance and lawyer and medical types, and those are organized people, whereas creative people are generally not organized. And why did I have to go into creative fields? Why couldn't I just like maths? Oh god, maths is so fucking... Sorry, I'm gonna shut up. But yeah, it's just like, there's a lot going on in that, and I'm too tired to unpack it all. Moving on.